everybody, welcome back to some Skyrim Special Edition. Picking up where we left off, we are doing the next part of the main mission in the Dragonborn DLC to go to Saering's Watch and learn a word of power. Now the reason we're doing this is so that while we're doing our side quests and exploring, whenever we come across one of the stones, we can deal with it immediately. We have Serana potentially with us, if she decides to catch up. And yeah, there she is. That's what we'll be doing this part. Now the northern part of this place is a little bit more, loop around and everything than the rest of the island. We may end up uncovering a couple of locations as we go, but that's fine. We can clear them after. And Saering's Watch should be this area here, I do believe. And we should have dragon, obviously. It's a word wall. And but I do believe there's a bunch of Draugr here as well, because you can actually have the dragon and the Draugr fight quite a bit and do a lot of damage to each other, especially if you're at a higher level. Oh yeah, and I forgot, in Dragonborn we get different kinds of dragons. See, we got a serpentine dragon. Right, I forgot. Get down here, bitch. Come on. No, all the way. Come on. There you go. Now, the serpentine dragons, I do believe, are stronger than, like, the regular dragons, but they're not as strong as, like, legendary or something. I think they're somewhere up around, I think, ancient dragon. Oh yeah, also Miraak's a punk bitch. And maybe broken. So Miraak is supposed to show up and steal that dragon soul from me. He's and then like be all like ha 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 whatever, right?
That'll teach you.
Because as you can see, I didn't get the dragon soul, even though I should have. But I think something happened because the other Draugr were here or something. Something happened anyway, and he obviously didn't show up because he is supposed to. Well, I mean, he showed up because I could hear him talking. Like, I could see the subtitles, like he was saying something. Or he was doing a shout, but yeah, apparently I broke it. Somehow, I don't know quite how, but yeah, he's supposed to show up and steal the dragon soul. Not like that specific dragon soul or anything, it's just like after you, I think it's after you went to his temple. He shows up and takes your next dragon soul, and then I think it's random after that, or maybe it's like as you progress, he'll just periodically show up after a certain quest and be like, by the way, this soul mine.
Where'd you go? I knew I heard something.
A white.
Done and
Maybe the Death Lord killed him, because I kept hearing the Fusroda, but no one seemed to be using it. So maybe Miraak somehow got killed by a Draugr. That doesn't seem right, but
that'll teach you.
yeah, it will. Alright, let's learn this shout, which will be important for this DLC. The Bendwill shout. Okay. So yeah, this is the Bendwill shout, which is it's mind control basically. As it gains power, animals, peoples, and even dragons must do your bidding. So with Earth, all you can control is animals. Like, I'm not sure if the level restrictions on mind control, like if there is one for it, but anything that's considered a beast, I do believe, will die or not die, will be controlled. Okay, so as you can see, this here is the Windstone. We never really looked at it last time we were here, but as you can see, there is a bunch of people. That all are dressed the same as the other Skaal people. Oh, also, did I equip it? I did not.
Goal!
Go. So if I enforce my will on the stone, oh. Now this guy can kill a couple of these people. Thankfully, there's just one that spawns here. Every time that we cleanse one of these stones, though, it will summon at least one of those guys. But yeah, now that it's cleared, the rest of them should head back to the village. I don't know how quickly they'll head back to the village, but they should head back to the village. Which is good, because some of them have side quests for us. I don't know, or I don't remember many of them have side quests for us, but some of them do. But now that we've cleansed that, we'll turn in this quest, and then we'll start doing some side missions. Because now that we have the Bendwill shout, whenever we come across one of those stones, we'll be able to cleanse it.
You have prevailed. I can feel it.
Yes, your people are now free.
So it is. You have proven yourself an ally to the Skaal, and so the Skaal shall be allies to you.
What do we do now?
If you have released the Windstone and broken the hold on my people, perhaps you can do the same for the rest of Solstheim. I doubt it will fully stop whatever Miraak is doing, but it may slow his progress.
That's not enough. I need to stop Miraak.
I cannot help with that. None here can. You will need the knowledge Miraak himself learned. You will need to learn more about this black book.
Tell me more about this book, then.
Miraak had this? This does not look like something of the dragon cult. It is a dark thing, unnatural. I would have nothing to do with it. But the dark elf wizard, Neloth, he came to us some time ago, asking about black books. I believe he knows a great deal about them. Perhaps too much. Seek him out to the south. Be cautious, Dragonborn. There is something else at work here.
What do you know about these black books?
Our traditions do not speak of them, but they and Miraak are connected. You read a black book and saw him. And the book's power comes from the same dark source as that which corrupted the Windstone. But beware, you are now walking the same road as Miraak.
What happened when I shouted at the Windstone? Which sounds really weird. It's like, you bloody stone.
The power of the stone had been corrupted. It was the source of the influence that had taken control of the Skaal. Your shout broke whatever evil will controlled the stone, and restored its true nature as a conduit of the All-Maker's gifts. Freeing the other stones will diminish whatever dark influence is spreading across Solstheim.
Other stones?
Yes. There are 6 sacred stones. Wind, water, earth, beast, sun, and tree. Through them, the oneness of the land is maintained. Freya saw that the tree stone now stands imprisoned in Miraak's new temple. I doubt that you can free it until his power is broken. But you may be able to cleanse the other stones. Even if this does not stop Miraak, it surely will delay his return.
Alright.
Allmaker shelter you.
Okay, so we'll we'll start with picking up a couple of quests here. We need to find the correct
Maybe.
person, including
You
Morwen.
freed us from the dark dream, and for that, the Skaal are grateful.
What did you do in Skyrim before you came back here? Why we know that she came back here, I don't know.
Well, my mother used to say that I was born an angry child. It's true that my heart has always been restless, and fighting was the only way I could find peace. I was a soldier for a time, and then a mercenary, but I was never truly happy until I came here.
Have the dragons made life more difficult for the Skaal?
Well, the dragons are a constant danger, but so far they have taken little interest in our village. Thank the All-Maker for that. But have they forced us to change the way we live our lives? No, not at all. They are but one more hardship, added to the many we already endure.
So, she's supposed to give us a quest.
All right, then. I've told young Nicholas that the world beyond our lands is no place for the
Okay, well maybe we need to,
It's been many winters since my husband returned to the All-Maker.
huh.
But my
We had
heart
better
still
do
aches
something
from
about
the
it then.
loss.
It makes my heart heavy to think of killing a beast.
I came here to study the history of Solstheim.
The ash from the red.
Okay, so maybe we have to do another quest then before we can.
Or in a cave. Anywhere.
Oh, who are you? Hey, Aita.
Elders talk of great cities.
Okay, so we might have to do another different quest first then.
I could travel to Raven Rock and purchase some more.
True. The weapons of the skull will never be dull.
It makes my heart glad to see her keeping busy after hiking us dead.
I have goods to offer if you have needs. My son's heart is restless. He wants to see the world beyond our lands, and nothing I say will change his mind.
Who do you trade with, I guess?
Many hunters pass through our village, and sometimes the Dark Elves of Raven Rock visit us. They bring us things from their homeland that we can't find on the island, such as spices, fine cloth, and ores that we cannot mine here. It's true we Skaal prefer a simpler life than some, but we do still enjoy a luxury from time to time. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, so there is.
I am called Wolf Wildblood. I am first hunter of the Skaal.
Okay. What does the first hunter do?
When we stalk large game, I lead our hunters in tracking the beast. It is also a way of saying that I am the most skilled hunter in the village. I doubt that an outsider could truly understand, but I hope my words have helped to answer your question.
What wisdom can you share about hunting?
The first piece of wisdom I teach to any hunter of the Skaal is to ask the simple question. Should I truly kill this beast? We take only what we need, and so we preserve the oneness with the land.
What is oneself with the land?
The Skaal hunt not for sport, but to survive. We believe that all creatures have a right to live as they will, and when we take what we need from them, we thank the beast for its gifts. The less we disturb the land and the beasts within it, the more we respect the wishes of the All-Maker.
Okay, what kinds of game do you hunt?
Deer, bear, and horker provide most of what we need for skins and meat. Sometimes, when the wolves grow too bold and threaten the village, we must hunt them to cull their numbers.
Okay, how long have you been First Hunter?
In days past, my brother Torkild and I would share the hunt, but that was long ago.
What happened to your brother?
I wish I could tell you. He had a wild gleam in his eye, more so than most. In my darkest times, I fear he fell in among the werebears of the glacier.
What's a werebear?
Twisted beasts, a curse of Hircine. True bears are noble and great creatures of the wild, but the Daedra have no skill for creation, so they defile the Allmaker's workings. I've heard tell of men who, by curse or by heart's desire, become transformed into one of those vile things. It is a pitiable fate, and one that I fear has fallen to my brother.
You have any idea where he might have gone?
He set off from here so long ago. It's hard to say. Could be in Hammerfell for all I know. If you happen to cross his path, be wary. He was a fierce warrior as a man. If he fell prey to his more bestial side, he could be deadly.
Alright, so that's our first quest that we get from these guys. Unfortunately, that one's a random encounter. That's the only quest that I know of that it's pure randomness. Now this guy
It is the will of the All-Maker.
is also supposed to have one, but obviously he doesn't, so we'll talk to this guy first then.
I do enjoy sharing stories of my travels in Tamriel with young Nicholas.
So you're not one of the Skaal?
Oh, no, most certainly not. I'm a historian. I'm here to learn about the history of Solstheim. Solstheim is a fascinating place, but we know so little about its past. There are many mysteries that remain unsolved.
What did you make of that stone structure everyone was building?
Yes, that was a most disturbing experience. But to answer your question, the architecture was strange, almost otherworldly. Given that, and the considerable power it must have taken to affect our minds so completely, it would suggest the work of a powerful mage. Either that, or perhaps a Daedra. If so, then may the Nine protect us.
Daedra?
Powerful and malevolent entities who make their home on the plane of oblivion. Some of the more powerful among them can exert their influence within our world, and when they do, men inevitably suffer.
How long have you been studying the Skaal?
Well, let me think. I suppose it's been nearly a year now. My goodness, how the time has flown.
And the Skaal don't mind being studied?
Well, not so far. They think I'm a bit strange, but they seem to tolerate me. In fact, they've been very accommodating, hospitable even. They seem happy to talk about their traditions and history.
Okay, so he's not going to give me his quest
Take
either.
care now.
Alright, well, apparently we don't get any side quests from these guys. I mean, we do. They do definitely have side quests. But the first thing we're going to do is go over to the Earthstone. And cleanse this one while we're here. Now, there are some bad guys. Although maybe not here. There are a couple of these that do have bad guys. But yeah, we'll cleanse this stone so that these guys will head back to Raven Rock. See, like I said, sometimes they do more than one. Now, we will end up fighting a lot of these guys as we go through some of the other missions, or one of the other quest lines in this game, the one with the black books. We'll end up fighting a lot of those guys.
What if Miraak decides to make us do something else next? Like kill someone we love. I can't bear the thought.
Yeah, he is a big enough dick to do something like that. Alright, so now there is one other thing that I want to do, or one quest that I would like to start first, because it's a quest that activates in... I can't remember exactly where it is. It should be just outside, like just a little ways outside the door over here, the exit, entrance, gate, whatever. And the reason why I want to do this one first is because it goes in stages. It's an excavation, and I don't remember exactly where it is, but I know it's out this way. And if we can find the guy, well, first let's go save this guy.
Victorious again.
There we are. Declaration of War. Raven Rock Stronghold. My calls for the unconditional surrender of your forces and an immediate cessation of all hostilities have been ignored numerous times. I therefore have no choice but to assume your purpose on Solstheim is hostile and to treat Raven Rock Stronghold as an enemy of the Empire. I warn you, any attempt to breach Fort Frostmoth will be met with an equal level of aggression. I will do everything in my power to wipe you and your forces off the face of Tamriel. There will be no further communications between us. Now, I don't remember if we...
I wasn't sure I'd make it off this farm alive. I wish I could have said the same for my man here.
What were those things?
Some of the Redoran Guard have taken to calling them ash spawn. Me, I don't care what they're called. All I know is they're a danger to Raven Rock and they need to be stopped.
How did that bring you to this old farm?
I was going to search for clues that might lead me to wherever they're coming from. I know it isn't the best place to start, but we know they've been coming from this direction.
I'd be glad to lend you a hand.
Good. I can use all the help I can get. Besides, I don't feel comfortable leaving Raven Rock behind. And I'd hate to lose any more Redoran Guard.
Very well, where do I begin?
We were searching the farm when the ash spawn ambushed us. Have a look around and see if you can turn up anything useful.
I discovered a note on one of the ash spawn.
This is strange. The note says it's from General Folks Carius. But that's impossible.
Why?
Well, Carius was the Imperial garrison commander at Fort Frostmoth. But he died over 200 years ago when the Red Mountain leveled the place. There's no way he could still be alive.
What do you want me to do?
If General Carius is still alive, there must be something keeping him that way. I need you to head out to Fort Frostmoth and check it out. I'm going to head back to Raven Rock and prepare the men for further assaults.
Alright.
Be careful. This General
So now if I wanted a full set of bone mold armor, I could take it off of this guy, but... I can also make it myself. Well, I think theoretically I shouldn't be able to make it myself as of yet. Oh god. Yeah, so Fort Frostmoth is over there. Man, I really wish I could remember better where that other quest is, where the other excavation. It could be that right there, in all honesty, but we need to go up to get there, which requires us to go around here, but that's fine. I don't know who this person is. I'll wander all the way over there. Oh, come on, because if this is it, we'll do this. If not, we'll head over to the... Yes, it is this one. Corbjorn Barrow.
Just leave me be.
What's the matter with you?
With me? What's the matter with you? Sorry, I've just had a lot of hawk-faced cowards coming by to mock my efforts. It probably can't hurt to tell you. You look mostly honest. The name's Rollis. Rollis Sedaris, out of Moorhold. I've got a financier waiting for me back on the mainland. Sent me here in the interests of obtaining some rare antiquities. The relics of Arzador.
But this whole thing became a disaster right quick, let me tell you.
What happened?
You come out of the Northern Ashlands, you don't expect things to go easy, you know. But this was something outside my particular expertise. When I first got to Kolbjorn, you couldn't even see it. Buried in the ash, like most other things on this blasted island. Dug out a pile of the stuff taller than me just to find the barrel. Who knows how much to reach the door? Excavating isn't exactly my specialty. Even if it was, the ash storms fill it in faster than you can dig.
Why not hire some of the miners out of Raven Rock, or apparently Serana?
You think I've got that kind of money? No, I only get paid on delivery. Can't afford to go out of pocket for 1,000 septims on this. Takes money to make money, all that rot. There's a lot of it at the other end, but I can't get there without a little kick to start it off.
So what's this treasure you were after?
You ever hear of Azadol? He was the first great Nord enchanter, maybe even the first human to master elven methods. His best work was buried with him, though. A set that my patron calls the relics are supposed to be down in his tomb. Now, they're old, and they're powerful. A combination like that makes them pretty valuable to certain people. And I happen to know certain people.
So I've got some money. Are you looking for a partner?
What? Are you serious? Well, I think I could make that work. We can sort out the details about an arrangement later. But for now, I'll manage the dig if you can manage the coin. Do you have the gold?
Of course.
It's all here. Well then, looks like I have a good bit of work to start on. I'll head back to Raven Rock and round up some diggers. Once we've got something worth looking at, I'll send word to you. Pleasure doing business with you, partner. I'll see you soon.
Alright. We also have this. Volume 19 of the journal. I don't know if you can get all the parts of this. I have a feeling you don't, so we'll just go with this one. Moving on to Solstheim next, chasing after vague rumors of this Kolbjorn barrow. My patron seems confident we can find the relics of Azadal out here. I'm a bit skeptical, but so long as he pays well, I'll dig wherever the old coot likes. Initial prospects look poor, to say the least. I was sure I had my map wrong at first, until it became clear that the place had just been lost to the ash. I'll dig out as much as I can, maybe see if I can recruit some of the local residents to help me out. I haven't seen anyone since I got out of Raven Rock, but I keep hearing conversations and whispers around me, so I just need to track them down. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that I came here and started this because, oh, son of a bitch. As you can imagine, this quest takes a while. Because not only do you have to wait for him to dig it out, after he's dug it out once, you have to come back to do a quest. And then, stupid little bugs. It's not bad. But do a little quest, give him more money, and then wait again for him to dig out more of it. So it is a very long and involved quest. I think it's honestly, it's a type of quest I really enjoy. They had something somewhat similar in Dragon Age 2. It also had to do with, well, I guess I said also, it had to do with a mine. This obviously isn't a mine, there's just mining involved. And it was very similar, where you would give the guy money, and then you would have to go out and do stuff and whatnot, and it's actually how you ended up getting one of your best pieces of armor, because in that game there, the ultimate armor set of the game you actually got by doing quests in the game, which was nice. It wasn't random, it wasn't crafted, it's once you did very specific, like, end of game quests. Oh, I feel like we got some more. Yeah. Oh, I took one hit for you, Saering. That's a lot of shit coming down. Ah, here we go. A door.
Men,
Okay, I have a feeling it wasn't supposed to cut off like that.
Fort Frostmoth will never fall. Long live the Empire!
Sure. Ow. Fucker set me on fire. See, does the Wrathman beat an Ash spawn? Oh, I feel like Serana's about to help now. Oh. Come on, you can do it, buddy. Finish him off. Yeah, there you go.
That'll teach you.
Alright. You're acting awfully cocky for somebody who had to get saved there. Maybe if you'd pull out your sword when they would get close, you know. It might work a bit better for you. Alright. Let's head into Fort Frostmoth. Fucking pop up in front of me, dumbass. Oh.
Done and done.
It's just asking to be killed if you're gonna show up in front of me. So now this place here, if you played, which I never did, Morrowind, there was a DLC for it called Blood Moon, which took you to Solstheim. And this place, and it took place, I'm pretty sure it's before Red Mountain erupts, all of Morrowind takes place. Which means, like, all of these places that you go to that's covered in ash and that, well, it might still be covered in ash, but probably less of it, were a lot more cleaned up. They're a lot more active, I guess. Oh. Immolator, eh? Considering all their weapons do fire damage, I'm pretty sure they're all immolators. Been playing a lot more Just Cause 4. I'm roughly halfway through the game, I think. Ah, these guys.
Who's there?
Yeah, Serana should be able to deal with, like, all of these guys. An albino spider pod.
Who's there? I knew I heard something. That'll teach you.
And she resurrected a damaged one. Why not? I'll take a regular one and a damaged one. So yeah, as you saw, some of those spiders jumped at me. I'm not going to bother taking more. You can. And they're used actually to make, if I'm not mistaken, that spider that jumped at us, the flame spider, like the flame cloak spider that was there, and the jumping flame spider, leaping flame spider, whatever the hell it was, they you can actually make versions of those. Oh yes, and we also need to mine these heartstone deposits. Because I don't remember exactly how many you need, but I know that there is a quest that you need some amount of heartstone. So whenever we come across one of these, I'll have to make sure I mine it. And as you saw, we got geodes now that just straight up give you gems. Why they decided to put that in the final DLC, when guaranteed anybody who uses their old character will have way more money than would ever be useful in this game, which, you know, takes almost no time at all to build up to, but, you know. Um, yeah, I don't know, but you know, it's new. It's something new. All right. See what else we have in. It's a master lock door, but you know what? I'll wait until we kill the boss to see if we get a key, because that would be so much easier. Oh, a letter to Selena 5, or 4. I do believe there are 4 of them total. I think that's the final one. Maximum. Oh, okay. And here's the rest. My dear Selena, it's been a difficult day. General Carius ordered us to help the laborers shore up the walls since they're starting to show their age. It was backbreaking work, but without the extra support, those walls wouldn't stand up to a siege. Some of the men are grumbling about the task, but I don't agree with them. The general knows what's best for Fort Frostmoth, and I would follow him to oblivion and back if he asked. There's a supply ship due on Solstheim in a few weeks, and I hope to send you all of these daily letters I've been writing. I hope you enjoy reading them as much as I enjoy writing them. I miss you, Selena, and I can't wait to see you when my time on Solstheim is through. Well, obviously never did. Euphemius was killed this morning by one of those awful Reeklings. We were escorting a supply wagon from Fort Frostmoth to Raven Rock when a war party of those bastards ambushed us from the cliffs. We fought them off, but poor Euphemius was impaled by one of their spears. The healers at the fort couldn't do anything for him, and I watched him slip away as I held his hand. I don't know how much longer I can stand being here. My loyalty to the Empire and the strong words General Carius delivers to us at each morning muster are the only things keeping me going. The supply ship should arrive tomorrow, and I promise to give the quartermaster my letters so they can finally be sent home. Give my love to the children. The supply ship due in Solstheim hasn't arrived yet, and no one knows what's happened to it. I'll keep writing these letters in hopes that they can be delivered to you one day. It's awful being isolated on Solstheim like this, but General Carius keeps telling us we may need to maintain Fort Frostmoth for the good of the Empire. I believe what he's saying only because he's never led us down the wrong path in the past, but I'm wondering if anyone on the Imperial Council even gives a damn about this pile of rock. 4 soldiers have died in the last 2 years at Fort Frostmoth. It almost seems as though the Empire takes us all for granted and expects us to sit out here and get chipped away at like the rock inside the mines. My posting here can't end soon enough. I mean, 4 people in 2 years at a military assignment, I feel is pretty good. Like, yeah, it sucks that they died, but I mean, 4 people in 2 years is not a lot of deaths. Alright, and then obviously we have the last one. This is my last letter. I don't know if you'll ever get any of them, but I'll keep them on me in case I'm ever found. Something happened here, Selena. It was horrible. Something's happened at the Red Mountain, but I can't describe it. It's as if hundreds of Oblivion gates opened at once and it's at its summit, and it's spitting fire and death in all directions. Fort Frostmoth has been completely destroyed. The walls crumbled like loose dirt, and the land is on fire. Everything around me smells of ash and of death. I don't know where anyone is. I've been trapped in one of these lower sections of the fort, and I don't expect to be rescued anytime soon. I miss you, Selena. I want to hold you and the children in my arms and tell you that everything is going to be fine, but I don't think that will ever happen. Give my love to Sirikis and Atia for me. Tell them their father died bravely defending the Empire, so they can hold their heads high when they speak of me one day. And you, my love, when you close your eyes at night, think of me so my spirit can finally come home. Alright. So yeah, as you could imagine from the first letter, oh, and I actually straight up need a key for that, so I'll have to come back down here at some point anyway. Okay, that's where we came from, because I remember going down. Yeah, not a happy story for Maximus, or Maximius, whatever the fuck his name was. Okay. Oh. Well, this seems like a lot more than, well, I was gonna say it seems like a lot more than 4 dead people, but at the same time, I guess, just because there's coffins here, like this one's clearly empty. I guess that doesn't mean that it was empty, though, right? Like, this one has bone meal, which just makes me assume that there is a skeleton in it. Ildari's journal, eh? It's been almost a month since unearthing the crypt at Fort Frostmoth, and I haven't seen a single spark of life in the general's remains. Grafting the Heartstone to the subject is proving much more difficult than I originally anticipated. I've used almost every method I can think of, and still there's no sign of reanimation. At this rate, it could be years before I make any progress, which is time that I just can't afford right now. My vengeance is to come to fruition. I need results. If not, I may need to resort to more drastic measures. 47. Finally appears that I'm making some progress. After my latest experiment, General Carius' eyes briefly opened and he moved his arms. It's lasted for less than a few moments, but it's the first sign of progress I've seen since I arrived here. A few of my assistants were insisting that I was imagining things, but I dismissed them for their insolence. They won't be bothering anyone ever again. General Carius awoke fully today. He bolted upright after my incantations and began staggering around like a blind man. He seemed to ignore my commands. In fact, hearing my voice seemed to increase his hostility. I was able to remove the Heartstone before he became violent, but this isn't a result that I expected, even though he's able to be awakened. I feel as though the real work has just begun. The General is still unable or unwilling to listen to my commands. He's acting increasingly paranoid and appears to have his own free will. He's convinced that I am a spy or the enemy, and I've had to restrain him to prevent him from outright attacking me. This is becoming intolerable. I'm beginning to wonder if someone with a Heartstone can be commanded at all. My experience with General Carius fail, I may have to resort to self-experimentation, something I've been avoiding for a long time. Alright. Oh, there's the key. Awesome. Even better. Well, if he experimented on himself, it either wasn't down here, or at least down here isn't, or I mean, it was long enough ago that he's, skeleton now, but I feel like that's just probably not the case. But we got a key. That's where we came from, and that's a dead end. Alright. So like I was saying before, been playing a lot of Just Cause 4. Been playing the one, or been doing a couple of the DLCs unknowingly at first, but it's the one where the agency is hunting you down. And I actually, just before I started recording, I think got all the achievements in that particular DLC, which included doing, because they added a hoverboard in that DLC, and and they added some hoverboard courses in the DLC, which I don't like the hoverboard. I got more used to it since I had to do these courses, and do a few things with them, or with it, but I still don't particularly care for it because there's just so many easier ways to do it. Are you... fuck, he's knocking me away.
That's it? That's all you got? Easily. I've failed.
You, stop setting me on fire.
I knew I heard something.
Oh my, there's a lot of bad guys over here. Okay, well, you two deal with that. Alright. No, where'd he go? There he is. Another key. The Champion's Cudgel. So this here actually has the Chaos damage enchantment on it. So if I really wanted it, I could disenchant that, but since we're in, or since we're on the DLC, or like on Solstheim, we can also just buy something with that enchantment. It's rare, but whatever. Deathbrand, why not? Yeah, I was gonna say that should actually activate Quest Azadel's Descent. If we hadn't already talked to what's his face at the Cold Ground Barrow, that actually would have sent us over there. As you can see, there is a bunch of new books to be had in this DLC, which means I 100% do not have enough space on my current bookshelves to okay, so that one requires a key, so that would have been that other door outside. But anyway, back to Just Cause 4 there. They added something that I actually really enjoyed because it's something that I really missed from 3, which is, at least for the hoverboard, they added actual courses, like race course kind of thing. I guess it's more of a time trial thing since there's no other people, but there's a bunch of really short ones, so short in fact, There's 7 of them, I do believe. That there's actually an achievement to beat them all within 20 seconds, which I did. And it's not like, aha, I did it. It actually wasn't that bad. It sounds horrible, and like when I first did them, and then I did them all, and I was having trouble finishing them because of some parts of them. And then I read 20 seconds, and I was like, oh, good God. And then I went and looked, and like some of mine were like, I had finished the course in like 21 seconds. And it's like, oh, it's actually not that bad. So I did it, and I finished it just before here. But, and while those 7 courses were nice, because they were at least something, you know, because like I really enjoyed as frustrating as some of them were, I did really enjoy the wingsuit courses in Just Cause 3. And this was very reminiscent of that, albeit shorter. But once you complete all 7 of those courses, you don't have to do it in the 20 seconds, just once they're complete. Oh, look at that. Fucking Daedric Nordic carved armor and a Daedric helmet up here. But yeah, once you've... apparently there's enemies nearby. Once you've completed all 7 of them, it actually unlocks 2 more courses up on a mountain that's significantly longer. It was... The first one I did... I think it only took me a couple tries. I don't think that the first one that I did took me too many tries, but it did seem to be the easier one. So I had less checkpoints and more time, but that doesn't mean a huge amount. Considering that, what enemies are nearby? Considering, like, the amount of space in between some of the checkpoints, you know? Like, the other one had less checkpoints and less time. Or more checkpoints and less time, but there were also sections of that course where there's 3 checkpoints where it was like, boom, 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 you know? Which obviously makes things significantly easier. When you can get them close together like that. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, whatever. We'll turn in our quest to this guy, and then we'll have to head back there, because I missed the thing. I guess we don't need our weapons out.
What news do you bring from Fort Frostmoth?
I killed General Carius.
I had my suspicions that he was undead. How else could he have survived for over 200 years? It's a shame. There are quite a few tales of General Carius's exploits, including the founding of Raven Rock.
You'll no longer send Ashspawn to Raven Rock.
Councillor Morvain told me to give this to you if you made it back in one piece. And you got rid of General Carius. Better than a soldier's pay, so you should be thankful.
Okay.
Thank you for your assistance.
Like I said, I forgot that these were even a thing, really. Because there is another quest that will pick up maybe in the next part. I don't know. But it's in Raven Rock, one of the people we need to talk to, and it has to do with collecting these necklaces. And all of these necklaces, though, are in little strong boxes like this. Now, unfortunately, they are all locked, and I do believe we don't get a key for them. Like, even the guy who gives us the quest to collect these, it's not like he gives us a key. Here, this will open all the boxes for you. Nah. To be fair, I'm not sure that they're all in boxes, but I also think that it's a repeatable quest. Like, I think it's just, hey, can you bring me these things? Because, yeah, inside there's a bunch of stuff, but the East Empire pendant is the thing that we're specifically looking for there. Let's see, we got there. You know what? Let's just pop back. Oh my god. What enemy is nearby? Where the hell is my Aurora Whisper? Sorry, bigger shells.
Ganir!
There's something there. The fox. Alright, you sons of bitches. Stopping me from fast traveling.
Where'd you come from?
Yeah, teamwork, sure. You summoned a guy as I killed them both. Alright. Now they're taken care of. I just want to pop. No, piss off with that. I just want to pop back to the Skull Village and see if maybe now that it'll have been reloaded.
Dior, you must be calm. I'm sure there's a good reason Baldur left us.
Ah, here we are. Yes.
Something isn't right, Fenari. I feel it in my bones and I smell it in the air. Baldur wouldn't leave without telling someone.
Don't worry yourself over nothing, Dior. Do you want a head full of gray hairs before you've seen 40 winters?
It makes my heart heavy that you don't believe me, Fenari. Baldur could be in danger and you will do nothing. If you won't help me, then I'll ask the Allmaker to send someone else who can. I am in no mood to talk, outsider. One of the Skaal has gone missing.
Who's missing?
It is Baldur Ironshaper. As our only smith, Baldur is very important to the village.
Did anything unusual happen around the time of his disappearance?
I do not remember Baldur acting strangely. Although now that you ask, I did see something in the woods on the day he disappeared. I saw 2 elves in the far distance dragging something behind them. Hunters often visit our land, so I thought little of it.
Where were they headed?
South and west. If your road takes you that way, perhaps you could search for any sign of Baldur. The Skaal would be grateful.
Alright. Now he gave us our quest. He's already given me his. He might give us one. Although I think we might actually need to complete this quest before that guy will give us his. Now Morwen here should have a
My
quest.
mother was Skaal, but she left the village and I was born in Skyrim.
Why did your mother leave the village?
A trade ship from Skyrim struck ice off the coast near the village, and the Skaal took in the surviving sailors. My mother fell in love with one of the sailors, my father, and eventually returned with him to Skyrim.
Did she ever return here?
Sadly, no. She died in Falkreath, where I was born.
What do you need?
I came across a few of my mother's old things not long ago. Among them was a necklace that my father gave to her when they were married. I believe she would want it placed upon her tombstone in Falkreath, as a symbol of her undying love and the great sacrifice she made for it. If you find yourself in Falkreath, please give this amulet to the priest Bruno and tell him that I sent you. He will understand. I don't have much to give in reward, but return to me when the task is done and I'll do what I can. Thank you, Skaal friend.
Alright, so that's her quest, which is a very quick one. We just need to pop over there and it's done. Okay, so we got the one from Wolf, we got the one about the blacksmith, we got Morwin's. Oh, right, the old, what time is it? It's 3 p.m, that should be good. Maybe it was even this, yeah.
It's been many winters since my husband returned to the Allmaker, but my heart still aches from the loss.
Sure. So who's your son?
His name is Nicholas. He's a good lad, strong and loyal. I only wish he wasn't so eager to leave the village. I've tried to tell him that the world beyond our lands is dangerous and cruel, but he won't listen.
I could talk to him.
You would do that? I know he would listen to you. You've been out there in the wide world. You know its perils. Yes, perhaps you can convince him. I would be grateful if you would do this thing, outsider.
Alright. So we'll do this quest because we have time for it, obviously. Hello, Nicholas.
Perhaps I'll be the first Skaal to slay a dragon. That would be worthy of a tale.
Your mother tells me that you want to leave the village.
That's right. I want to go out into the world and earn great glory. I want to hunt the deadliest creatures and claim vast riches. I'm wary of living in this village. I want to do something with my life other than farm, fish, and hunt deer. I know it must be hard for an adventurer such as you to understand this, but we Skaal live very boring lives.
You'd abandon your mother when she needs you most?
There is truth in your words. She has not been herself since my father's death. I can see that in my eagerness for adventure, I have forgotten my duties as a son and as a Skaal. You have helped me to see wisdom, and I thank you for that, Skaal friend.
Alright. I think that you have to convince him to leave in order to complete the quest.
If Nicholas leaves me now, I will be truly alone.
Well, does nobody else in the village like you? But either way, he's agreed to stay.
May the Allmaker bless you with many sons and daughters, outsider. Once again, you have shown that you're a true friend of the Skaal. I wish that I could give you a reward that is equal to the joy in my heart, but I don't have much to offer one who has so much already. Perhaps these will prove useful to you. These herbs are unique to the island, and their light cannot be found elsewhere.
Alright, so she gave us some things, and I think the Emperor whatever thing that she gave us is the only one that we didn't already have. Yeah, so we got the grass pod. Damage health and regenerate health, that's interesting. Thought it would do both. Oh, apparently I haven't eaten jazzbay grapes. Don't even know where I got those from, but yeah, we got the rest of it. Alright. Okay, so that's one quest completed. Obviously, we can quickly pop over to Falkreath to do more Windsor quests, which actually unlocks her as a marriage candidate. And the last time I played this game, I do believe that it was her that I married. And then I took her back to Skyrim. But anyway, next time we'll do a new source of Stalrim. We'll start with that. And then we'll, I guess we'll do these Hackney or Deathbrand 1 too. And we'll pop over to Falkreath and give the necklace to the priest.
I welcome you, friend of the Skaal.
Sure, but why are you...
The dragons of old have returned.
Anyway,
by the Allmaker,
that will be it for this part. It's almost an hour, so that'll be good. We definitely don't have time to do a quest or anything. So, thanks everybody for watching. And I will see you on Thursday for more.